Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. At around 12,000 years old, it is recognized as one of the oldest stone complexes in the world. Once considered humanity's first temple, recent studies suggest it may have also had domestic uses. The site consisted of multiple circles, each with two larger pillars at the center and smaller ones surrounding them. It is believed that the central T-shaped pillars served as focal points during rituals. Its builders were hunter-gatherers, challenging the notion that monumental human structures only emerged with agriculture. The craftsmanship of the pillars and the quality of the carvings indicate mastery of advanced construction techniques. Engravings depict animals with symbolic meanings that remain unclear. It was active for 1,500 years, but was deliberately buried 10,000 years ago for unknown reasons, preserving it until its discovery. Karahan Tepe, Turkey. Recognized as Göbekli Tepe's sister site, it features similar T-shaped pillars and symbolic carvings. It was built by hunter-gatherers before the advent of pottery or agriculture, possibly serving as a ritual center. Dating back between 11,000 and 13,000 years, it is considered one of the earliest human settlements. Its massive stone pillars reveal the work of highly skilled artisans. The reliefs and sculptures are believed to be linked to spiritual ceremonies or ancestor worship. Crop Circles, United Kingdom. These geometric designs appear in crop fields, formed by the flattening of plants. Most documented circles are found in southern England, near ancient structures like Stonehenge and Avebury. Although often linked to extraterrestrials, nearly all are the work of pranksters or artists using wooden planks to press down the crops. It is believed that these hoaxers took inspiration from the Tully incident in Australia, where in 1966, a farmer claimed to have seen a flying object and later discovered a perfect circle on his land. Ultimately, they are widely accepted as human creations, whether as pranks or landscape art, though some still believe in a supernatural or alien origin. Queen, Malta. Maltese historian Giovanni Francesco Abela wrote in 1647 that these ruins proved Malta's earliest inhabitants were giants. Dating back 5,400 years, it is considered one of the world's oldest prehistoric monuments. The temple's layout, aligned with solar events, reveals a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. How these massive stones, some weighing up to 20 tons, were moved and precisely fitted remains unknown. Equally mysterious is the fate of this civilization, as no human remains have been found at the site. Mount Nimrut, Turkey. Located in eastern Anatolia, this monumental complex holds immense archaeological significance. King Antiochus I of Commagene built it 2,000 years ago as both a religious sanctuary and his own mausoleum, seeking to immortalize his legacy. The statues depict Greek and Iranian gods, along with lions, eagles, and King Antiochus himself. Two lions and two eagles, symbols of power, serve as guardians of the sanctuary. The heads of the statues were deliberately removed and are now scattered across the site. It is believed that the king is buried beneath the mound, yet excavations have failed to locate the burial chamber. Baalbek monoliths, Lebanon. Once known as the City of the Sun, this site contains the ruins of temples dedicated to deities such as Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. Originally a Phoenician sanctuary for the god Baal, it was later occupied by the Greeks and eventually by the Romans. The monoliths of Baalbek and the stones used in the Temple of Jupiter weigh between 750 and 1,700 tons, surpassing most ancient blocks. Their design does not match typical Roman architecture, leading some to believe they predate the Roman Empire's arrival. These stones may have belonged to the Phoenicians or an unknown prehistoric civilization with advanced knowledge. The methods used to cut, transport, and assemble stones of this magnitude exceed modern understanding of ancient engineering. Theories involving rollers and ramps have been proposed, though no definitive evidence explains how these colossal blocks were moved. Avdat, Israel. A historic Nabatean city nestled in the Negev desert. It thrived for centuries before being abandoned, with no records explaining the reason. The Nabateans showcased remarkable adaptability to this arid environment, mastering advanced hydraulic engineering. To this day, how they achieved such precision in their techniques and secured water during extreme droughts remains a mystery. Myra, Turkey. During the Hellenistic and Roman periods, this Lycian city flourished as a major political and cultural hub. It was one of the 6 key cities of the Lycian League, considered one of the earliest federal democracies in history. Carved into the cliffs, these tombs resemble miniature temples or houses adorned with intricate reliefs. They were designed to mimic the homes of the living, as the Lycians believed in carrying their way of life into the afterlife. Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Israel. Also known as the Church of the Resurrection by Eastern Christians, it stands in the Christian quarter of Jerusalem's Old City. It is recognized as the site where Jesus of Nazareth was crucified, buried, and resurrected. Just beyond the entrance lies the Stone of Anointing, believed to be where Jesus was prepared for burial. His tomb is enclosed within a shrine known as the Edicule. Construction began in 326 AD, initiated by Emperor Constantine the Great, after identifying the sacred locations. Hellinikon Pyramid, Greece. This unusual pyramid-shaped structure remains an architectural enigma within the Greek world. Some estimates place its origins in the Mycenaean period, around 3,000 years ago, while other studies suggest a later date. Despite its uniqueness, it is barely mentioned in ancient literary sources, leaving its exact purpose unknown. Although referred to as a pyramid, it may have once had a roof, possibly serving as a military shelter or an observation post. Montserrat Monastery, Spain. Founded in the 11th century, this site is a prominent Christian pilgrimage center. It sits on a natural terrace in the mountains, surrounded by the region's distinctive rocky formations. Access is possible via a winding road with steep inclines and sharp curves. Alternatively, visitors can reach it by cable car or cogwheel train. The monastery houses the Virgin of Montserrat, known as La Moreneta, a medieval figure with a reputation for miracles. According to legend, the Knights Templar, believed to be guardians of the Holy Grail, chose this secluded location to conceal it. Over the years, the mountain has been the site of numerous UFO sightings, with gatherings led by those who claimed they could summon them. Palácio da Regaleira, Portugal. Built in the early 20th century, this estate is steeped in symbolism woven into every corner. Its design suggests a temple dedicated to knowledge and mystery, inviting visitors on an initiatory journey. The palace is filled with esoteric imagery, Templar crosses, pentagrams, and alchemical references, perhaps reflecting philosophical and mystical pursuits. The initiation well is particularly striking, spiraling downward with a 9-level staircase, often linked to the circles of hell in the Divine Comedy. Beneath the estate, a network of tunnels and passageways connects the well to various points in the garden, reinforcing the theme of a symbolic journey. Mahabalipuram, India. In the late 19th century, British archaeologist Alexander Rea began his studies on the ruins of this ancient city. It was under the control of the Pallava dynasty from the 7th century onward, though evidence suggests it was inhabited for millennia and affected by natural disasters. According to legend, 7 magnificent temples once stood here, stirring the jealousy of Indra, the god of storms. The deity caused them all to sink beneath the waves, leaving only the shore temple standing by the sea. This myth may have originated from a tsunami that devastated the coast, submerging parts of the ancient city. Indeed, after the 2004 tsunami, ruins emerged that are believed to belong to the lost Mahabalipuram. The site preserves sanctuaries, rock-cut reliefs, caves, and stone-carved sculptures. Its structures are adorned with masterpieces of ancient Indian artistry. Krishna's butterball remains perfectly balanced on one of the city's hills. For some, it seems improbable that natural forces alone placed it in such a position, while others find it plausible. According to the latter view, friction prevents the boulder from sliding, with its center of gravity keeping it stable on a small surface. Belchite, Spain. This town preserves the ruins left behind by the devastation of the Spanish Civil War. Between August and September 1937, the Battle of Belchite took place as Republican forces attempted to seize the town, which was held by nationalists. The intense fighting left the area nearly completely destroyed. Instead of rebuilding, a new town was constructed nearby, while the old one was left as a silent monument to the horrors and destruction of war. Some visitors and researchers claim to have witnessed unexplained phenomena, such as echoes of battles and distant voices. There are accounts of people who say they have seen ghostly figures. Soldiers and civilians wandering through the desolate streets. Ollantaytambo, Peru. Nestled in the Andes, this Inca city blends a fortress, temples, and agricultural terraces. As in other Inca settlements, massive stones were used, fitted together with astonishing precision. The terraces maximized agricultural production, a necessity in this demanding mountain environment. On the mountainsides, storage buildings known as colcas were strategically placed at high elevations to better preserve food. Fatima, Portugal. Globally recognized for the reported apparitions of the Virgin that took place in 1917. Three shepherd children claimed to have seen the Virgin Mary above a small holm oak on the 13th of each month, from May to October of that year. She was described as a young lady dressed in radiant white, with a mantle flowing down to her feet. However, the events of Fatima did not end there. On October 13, 1917, thousands gathered, awaiting the sign the children had foretold. Numerous accounts describe the sun appearing to move in a zigzag pattern, shift colors, and approach or recede from Earth unpredictably. For the Church, this was a miracle. Others attribute it to atmospheric effects, mass suggestion, or even a UFO sighting. Since 1917, people from across the globe have been drawn to the site, captivated by the miraculous events. Masada Fortress, Israel. Perched atop a cliff in the Judean desert, this stronghold stands out for its remote location and arid surroundings. Due to its isolation, it remained untouched for 13 centuries, until its rediscovery in 1828. A system was in place to collect and store rainwater in cisterns, allowing inhabitants to endure the harsh climate. "2,000 years ago, Herod the Great reinforced it as a refuge against potential uprisings, equipping it with lavish palaces. During the Great Jewish Revolt, Masada became the last stronghold of Jewish rebels against Roman forces. Gigantia Temples, Malta.